Good afternoon, Dickie Bird. Absolute pleasure to be speaking to you here at Trent Bridge, and you've just turned 82. Congratulations. How does it feel?
Yeah, I've just turned 82. I feel old. I never thought I'd get to 82, but I have anyway.
And you're now Yorkshire Life President.
I'm Yorkshire President.
Yorkshire President.
Not Life President, Yorkshire President.
But how much pride does that role give you?
Well, I never thought when I walked through the gates at Headingley as a 16-year-old kid for my first practices with Yorkshire that I never dreamt that I would become President of Yorkshire County Cricket Club.
Just
It's amazing. It's a tremendous honour. I think it's the pinnacle of anybody's life to be President of Yorkshire County Cricket Club because it's the greatest club in the world.
I was going to say, but I think you've already done it.
Yeah.
Can you put it into words just how much Yorkshire as a place means to you?
It means a lot to me. I'm Barnsley born and bred. I still live in the town, and I'm so proud to be a Yorkshireman. So proud to be a Yorkshireman and to be president of this great club.
And how much pride do the current crop of players give you? Obviously, you got that LV County Championship glory last year. How do you see the current squad?
We've got a batch of youngsters who will, I think, eventually play for England. At the moment, we've got 6 in the England party, in the England squad is 6. And we've got side bottom bullies who are torn a calf muscle. So we're 7 men out. Now 7 men out, and to bring youngsters in, it's a tall order really, because you've got to give, you can bring youngsters in probably a couple at a time and group them, but to bring 7 in, it's hard. I think it will affect Yorkshire this season winning the championship because we have so many England players. And you can't stop a young lad playing for this country. If he's playing for England, you can't stop him. But all I have against it is if they're set on the backside. Tony needs a phone call if anybody gets injured, and they can be there in 7.5 hours in the West Indies. So that is disappointing, that part.
But you must be pleased with the way we saw today with Will Rhodes with the bat, yesterday with Matthew Fisher with the ball. There's always that conveyor belt coming through, isn't there?
It always, a conveyor belt of youngsters coming through it. If you go back to my era, when with Yorkshire, there are always youngsters coming through, so many outstanding young players, and they're coming through today. And you've got to give credit to the coaches. I mean, there's Gillespie, and then Motson, and then your Hughes, and the other lads who are coaching. So the system's very good, very strong.
And you were just saying to me before, if you had it your way, Alex Lees would be Test captain right here, right now.
Well, I won't say that. I think that I've got to. I may have said something, but I think you've got to give him more experience, give him a bit more time, experience, getting runs for Yorkshire. But I think eventually he will break through and he'll play for England, and I think he will captain England. That's how much confidence I have.
And at the minute, balance and route appear relatively set in that England team, but none of the current first team Yorkshire players are quite broken in there. Is there anyone else particularly who you think they're one of ours and they should be in that?
Well, you mentioned 2 there. You mentioned Rhodes and Fisher. They both do outstanding youngsters, and you've got to give them the experience to play county cricket first. But I think you never know with youngsters. You can, you never know with them. They may fall by the wayside. But I think Rhodes and Fisher are 2 outstanding players. I think Rhodes will break through. He reminds me of a young Ian Botham. He reminds me of young Ian Botham.
Quite a comparison.
Yeah, and I can't pay my compliment for that. I mean, I saw David Gower when he was a young lad. I said he would play for England. I saw Graham Gooch when he was a young lad. I said he would play for England. Same with Mike Gattin. I said he would play for England. And these youngsters, you see them, and they give me a lot of pleasure.
And one of those youngsters is Adil Rashid, the spinner, who obviously a few years ago got his chance with England, it didn't quite work out, and then he's been, particularly last season in that championship, win, magnificent with bat and ball.
Yeah.
Where do you see his development at the minute? Because a lot of people were very surprised he didn't play in that test against the
Yeah, I'd have played him in the last test match. I think he'd have played in the last test match. I think England would have probably won it, because I think he'd have got those last 3 wickets, all his leg spinners, his bowlers. So he's very good at bowling the tail. He never mixed the tail out for Yorkshire last season. He had an outstanding season. He helped us to win the championship, and he always got the tail out.
Do you think that people with Rashid maybe too often keep remembering the slight difficult time he had when he first came in with England 5 years ago, and forgetting just how much he's done for Yorkshire over such a period of time?
Probably so, probably so. I'm forgetting what he's doing for Yorkshire now, and what he's done in the past. He's certainly improved, and you know, he can bat. He can bat. I think he's a batsman bowler, not a bowler batsman. He can bat. He gets hundreds for us, for Yorkshire, and he's an outstanding talent.
Obviously, that's probably one thing that maybe has changed so much in the game across your lifespan, which is, in the old days, maybe from 7 onwards, there wasn't an expectation that you could bat much, whereas there's a real emphasis in the international game of even at 10 being able to, and 11 being able to hold a bat.
Well, they're all batted now right down to 11, as you said. They all bat, everybody, every county, they bat down to 11, every test side bat right down now. And things have changed to what it was in the past. And so that you're never through a side because the tail can bat so well now.
And what would you say are the most notable things that have changed about cricket across your lifespan? Would you say they're for better or for worse?
Well, there's things what's coming to the game. For instance, I never thought I'd see the day when electronic aid will take over from the umpires. I know that I'm all for helping umpires if I can in every way, but I think all the authority is being taken away from the umpires. People will say to me, who is the best umpire today? Who is the best umpire? I can't tell you, because it's done by a machine. The machine makes all the decisions, and it's sad, very sad.
So would you repeal the technology that's currently in use and go right the way back to the game as it was with the umpire's decisions final?
Well, I think that, same as I say, they want imperfect decisions now. They want first-class decisions, but they'll never get them. You'll never get a perfect decision. It chooses one. There's so many machines, as many machines as you want. But technology has taken over umpiring, and it's very, very sad.
And obviously there was the ODI World Cup relatively recently. What's your view on the issue concerning associate nations being sort of potentially made it much more difficult for them to participate in the future?
Well, these nations who you're talking about, you know, it's their one ambition in life, is to play in a World Cup tournament. So why not let them play?
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
And on there's a big discussion as well with the rider level about how cricket's governed with this big three of England, Australia and India.
Yeah.
Does that slightly worry you in terms of the future?
Well, yeah, I think every nation should have their say in everything. Every cricketing nation should play. They love the game, their ambition is to play Test cricket, their ambition is to play in a World Cup, and why can't we let them? Simple as that.
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, mate.
Absolute pleasure. Best of luck to you and Yorkshire for the rest of the season.
Well, we need, I think England calls them, you know, we'll just have too many England